I've refined my European summer packing list down to the pieces that always work, no matter the city or the climate. So if you want to feel elegant, effortless, and truly put together while traveling, these are the capsule essentials that stylish locals always pack. The first item is a pair of Mules. These allow you to look elevated without struggling in heels on concrete. The pointed toe, the open foot back, especially when you're traveling in summer, Mules are just a shoe that looks like you tried while genuinely being so exceptionally comfortable. You can wear these during the day, you can wear these breakfast, you can wear them at night to dinner. They're so versatile. They're really cute. They're easy to slip on. They work with so many outfits. Next up, a straw sun hat. There's a heat wave basically every summer in Europe. It's just been in the news this past week and it's in the news every single summer. So highly recommend bringing your own shade with a sun hat. This one I very recently just picked up from Lock & Co when I was in London. It is beautiful quality. It also comes in different sizes, which I love because my head just does not fit all the one size fits everyone hats. And so I actually need to buy something from a hat store that has a specific size. So if you have that same problem, can highly recommend this one. Very wide brim, so elegant and classic. This will work this summer. This will work 10 summers from now. Just a fabulous investment piece. The next item I always bring on my trips, and I'm wearing some right now, is big dangly earrings. These look like you tried and you put in a lot of effort, and they're gorgeous. They really make a statement in a look, but again, so simple to actually do. On every trip I go on, I tend to bring a few pairs so I can swap it out based off the color and the vibe of my outfit, and I really find that these are look elevators with no effort. Love them so much. Next, if you want some of the most comfortable sandals, I won't put these too close to the camera because honestly, these have been well worn because they are so exceptionally comfortable. I think I've had these for maybe this is the third summer now, and they are literally all I wear. These are a pair of LK Bennett sandals. I believe they still have these actually. So if you want something that is just exceptionally comfortable, I have the most princess feet and can get a blister from literally every shoe. But these, no problem. So if you want something very comfortable to walk around in Europe with, these are a beauty. Next up, midi length dresses. I created another video where I was talking about the difference between tourists and travelers, and this is one of those things. So right now in Europe, everybody is wearing midi length dresses. Not mini, not maxi, midi. And so if you want to fit in and look like the locals right now, then just picking up a few midi length dresses is going to take you far. And my personal favorite thing about dresses is that it is so easy. You don't even need to match a top to a bottom. You put on one piece of clothing. It looks like you just put a lot of effort in because it looks fantastic, but really you did the absolute minimum. Midi dresses are my summer uniform, and if you want to look elevated and look a bit more European and fit in and not be, you know, the American tourist wearing the head to toe Lululemon, this is also what the Europeans are wearing right now. Would highly recommend. Next up, these Cézanne trainers. These are incredible. They're literally the best shoes I think I've ever purchased, like the most practical shoes I've ever purchased. So a few years ago, you would have seen on YouTube videos or blogs that like, don't wear white shoes in Europe, it makes you look like a tourist. Everyone is wearing white shoes in Europe these days. These are actually a bit of a like cream colored shoe, which makes them a bit less stark in your outfit. But these, the things that I love about them, again, they're just like such a soft leather. I loved Keds and used to wear Keds, but they're quite structured and the canvas is quite hard and therefore again blisters, which is not what you want on your travel. The other great thing about these is that because they are I don't know if it's actual leather material, I'm not really sure. Even if you're walking through some wet grass or it's raining that day, your feet are gonna stay dry and your shoes are gonna need days to dry out in the hotel before you can wear them again. Okay, last pair of shoes. I promise this one's actually just a bonus because this isn't really super summery, but I will just say they're incredible. These, I was actually on a trip in Paris for a weekend with a friend. I had brought some booties that had just like the tiniest heel, and within 3 hours of walking around Paris, I was dying. I was in so much pain. So we literally just walked into a department store and I just looked for a different pair of shoes to buy. I bought these and have worn them so consistently since. You can definitely wear them in summer. They are a low level, but more often I wear them in fall and winter. If you're coming later on in the year, get yourself a pair of these. They go with dresses, they go with jeans. You can wear them during the day, you can wear them in the evening. They're fabulous. Next up, you will want 1 or 2 button downs of some sort. The first one I have here is a linen button down. This is great if you want just something, say you're taking a boat ride, you're wearing a bathing suit, you don't want to burn your shoulders, then this is very lightweight. Still looks very smart. You could get it in something like this. This one's actually just H&M. I picked it up quite recently, actually. A little blue stripe, always classic, goes with basically everything. Or just a white one, again, goes with everything. It's a very versatile piece. You can wear it as like an actual with a pair of shorts or trousers, or just thrown over a bathing suit. Useful in so many situations. Next up, a large tote. There's so many different places you can get something like this. And if you know you're gonna be out for a long day, or gonna be heading to the beach or something of the sort, or just touristing an old beautiful town, and you don't want your bag or your backpack to be completely destroying your outfit, then a large straw tote is perfect. Next up, at least one athletic outfit. You never know what's going to happen on your vacation. Maybe your hotel ends up having a tennis court, or you get sudden ambitions to hike a CC or something. And in that case, then having some proper athletic clothing is going to be very handy. I will just say, if you want to not be picked out as a tourist, only wear athletic clothing in Europe when you're actually doing a sport. I know that walking around a old ancient city for an entire day definitely feels like more athletics than you're doing probably in your day-to-day 9-to-5 job at home. While I love Lulu so much, wearing head-to-toe Lulu while you're city touring is a surefire way to get picked out as a tourist quickly. You could say, okay, I don't even care about being picked out as a tourist, but if you don't want to get pickpocketed, actually you might want to try to not look like a tourist. Next up, something warm for the plane. Even if you're going on a summer vacation, is easily one of those things that you could forget because, you know, you're expecting to go into, 30-degree heat the entire time, which is true. But I would suggest you bring at least one cardigan, sweater, something of the sort, because on the flight it gets so cold up there, so bring yourself something too. So now you have your capsule wardrobe ready, but the most put together outfit in the world won't help if your phone dies halfway through the day, your suitcase disappears, or you realize your Dyson Air app doesn't even work in Europe. True story. So as a little bonus, let me share with you some of the practical travel tools that I always pack, because these are things that keep trips stress-free, which is kind of the entire point of your vacation. Next, and one of the most practical items on this list, if you're intending to do any amount of shopping while you're on your trip and might just end up coming home from Europe with more things than you left with, as in you emptied an entire store while you were there, then this bag is the best thing that you can bring or buy while on your trip. It's unfortunate, I don't really like buying trending items often. It's very trendy right now, which is too bad, but I mean, it's been a thing for forever. This is a Longchamp bag. It is so fantastic because it can be massive. I think this is the extra large, I'm pretty sure. It can be ginormous when you unfold it, but let me show you it folded up. It can be so tiny. So you pack this in your bag on the way there, weighs almost nothing, and then you could literally use this as another checked bag, or maybe I'm not sure if this would fit carry-on, depends the airline that you're flying. Check this in or bring this as an extra carry-on on the way back, and you've basically just given yourself another suitcase without actually having to bring a second suitcase or bring a half-empty suitcase on the way there. That giant bag turned into this. Okay, I don't have one handy, but a power strip is such a genius travel hack. So this is the thing, is normally when you go to a place you think, oh, I need like 5 travel adapters or electric converters that I need to bring with you. But if you bring yourself a little power strip with whatever your native power plug outlet socket is, and then you just bring yourself one actual like converter, then you don't need to bring 5 converters. You can just bring the power strip, plug it in. Big space saver, probably something you have around your house anyways. Try to bring a small compact one, obviously, but with a number of different like outlets. This is an advanced travel hack for the serious people or the people who've, needed an extra or just didn't bring enough converters and then realized, you know what, I could just bring one and a power strip. Makes more sense. The next item I love to bring on my trips is Supergoop sunscreen. I've just run out. I need to go get more, so I don't have any to show you right now. Put up a photo, I'm sure you've heard of it before. With this stuff, you can honestly, sometimes, depending on which one you get away without putting on actual proper foundation if you just have this like fabulous glowy sunscreen. I find it so much nicer to wear on my skin than like the mineral ones, which are making me even whiter than I already am. It's just, once you get a Supergoop sunscreen, you're not going back. I was in London the other weekend and my reusable see-through bag, which then you can get through with your carry-on, then you don't need to replace all of your toiletries into the little bags that they give you in the airports because that's just a giant waste of time. I had a bag for years. It just broke on the last trip. I went to Space NK when I was in London actually and saw this one, picked it up. Pretty sure this is the large size. Pretty sure it is technically too large for whatever you're allowed, but actually in the, let's say 50 times, which I used a see-through plastic bag of like this, my last one, 50 times going through an airport, only once did they actually hassle me about it. So I would get one of these. Another thing you will thank yourself for is just some sort of something that you can use as a laundry bag, because trying to keep your suitcase organized when something's soiled and other things aren't and everything, and try to keep it all separated can be difficult if you don't have a dedicated laundry bag. There's probably ones that you can buy which are specific to be laundry bags. I just used, this is an old bag, dust bag that came with the purse which I bought, and it's quite large, and so literally I've used this as my laundry bag. I just know that the gray bag inside of my bag is a laundry bag, and every time I go on a trip, this comes with me. The next thing that I always bring is an actual, or 10, physical books. When I go on vacation, I like to completely unplug from the world. So there was literally a vacation that we just did, and it was so much fun, and when I told people about it, they were all like, oh, I need to do that. What an incredible vacation idea. We rented a cabin on the side of a mountain, and I brought a ginormous bag full of, I think, 20 different books, and I just read for an entire week straight. You know how you always are like, oh, I wish I had time to read more? I made time to read more, and it was such a beautifully enjoyable week. Of course, if you go on some sort of warm vacation, you're probably gonna end up on a beach at some point. Bringing a book is fantastic. Of course, you could get the Kindle app on your phone, or you could have an actual Kindle, or all of those things. But I just like something about the unpluggedness of having an actual physical book or 7. The next item, this is not optional. This is an absolute essential, AirTags. Little story to explain why these are so massively necessary. I had a friend come over to Switzerland from New Zealand. Her bag with her snowboarding equipment, we were gonna go skiing for the week, got stuck, we didn't know where. And we went to go pick it up from luggage, wasn't there. She talked to the airline. The airline literally, when she called the place that was supposed to help her find her luggage, the first question they asked was, do you have an AirTag in the bag? And she said, no, I thought that was your job to know where my bag is. And they said, actually, we don't know where it is. And it took them literally days to even know where her bag was, which made trying to us plan, like, should we head to the ski hill now? Should we stay in the city for an extra day? How long is it gonna be until this bag is moving? If we had an AirTag in the bag, she could have seen where it was, or if it was on a plane or coming to her, but we couldn't tell any of those things. And it made planning what we were going to do after that without knowing when this bag was going to suddenly arrive very, very difficult. The airlines are not as helpful as you would imagine. They're probably gonna ask you if you have an AirTag in your bag when you call the lost luggage department, which is mind-boggling. So I bought myself a pack of 4 after that experience. I bought her a pack of 4, and in every single suitcase, an AirTag goes in it. I also got an AirTag and stuck it on my keys. I bought this little AirTag holdery thing off of Amazon. If you're just sticking it in a suitcase, you don't need the little AirTag holder, but if you want to hold on to something like your keys or your purse or whatever, this is a really great idea. This next item is a portable phone charger. It actually, I can't show you because I'm using it right now for filming this video. Can't show you, but it magnetizes onto the back of your phone, and it can portably charge your phone as you go. When you're out for an entire day, when you use Google Maps, that destroys your battery like nothing else on your phone, or at least it does for mine. And when you're wandering around a new place, which you don't really know very well, you're probably going to be using Google Maps a lot. So even if your phone makes it through an entire day at home, it might not make it when you're traveling because you're probably using it more frequently for those sorts of things. So pick yourself up one of these, magnetize it to the back of your phone. When it's dying, you're gonna be very grateful you have it. Speaking of phone charging, the other thing which I bring is every potential possible cord that you could ever need. So you don't know if the rental car that you're gonna get is gonna be USB or USB-C or something completely different. And so I don't really leave it to chance anymore. I've just had enough experiences of realizing, oh, this hotel only has USB plugs, or this one only has this whatever plug. And so I just make sure that I bring every potential possible outlet type, plug type that there is these days, basically, so that I never get stuck not being able to charge my phone wherever I am. Now, the other item, which is an absolute essential, I can't even tell you, is an eSIM card with local data. So I don't know how mainstream this is yet. I started doing it like quite a few years ago, and it definitely wasn't a thing. And when I told my friends, no one had heard of it at that point. I think it's more of a thing now. But anyways, basically, think of your phone has a physical SIM card which goes into it. An eSIM card is just like a digital SIM card. You can use an app. I use the app called Airlo, and then you can choose in there, okay, I'm going to Europe and I'm traveling through a few different countries, so I'm gonna get data for all of Europe, for example. I'm gonna get 10 gigs or something. Or I'm going to purchase data just for Italy or just for wherever it is that you're going to. You install the eSIM card, which takes literally a couple of clicks, and then you're using local data. And I know when friends come from Canada and they visit me and they're like, oh, okay, well, my phone plan, Rogers or whatever, I can do like, there's like a daily charge, like roam like you're at home for $5 or $10 a day or something. But I absolutely promise you that doing an eSIM card with local data is going to be way cheaper than whatever it is your roam like at home data plan is from your local provider or from your home provider. And finally, if you didn't already know, the one thing not to bring is your Dyson Airwrap. The reason for that is these only work on specific continents. So if you bought one in America, it will work in North America. If you buy one in Europe, it will only work in Europe. And it takes actually going to that place and learning that the hard way, have done it, to realize that that is the case. Just be aware, if you really want your Dyson Airwrap, you actually need to buy another one that works on the other continent. Even if you use like a cord or electric adapter or whatever, I don't know what it is. There's something about it technically, which means it's not gonna work. So leave this guy at home. All right, now you know exactly what to pack, but what about what you do once you're there? What instantly gives away whether or not you're a tourist, or what makes you look like an elegant traveler? If you want a warm welcome on your European trip, be sure to watch this video next to find out the difference.